Hey everyone, Eric here. I'm here to introduce you to the Sage Modeler platform. You may have used this platform to create your model of what affects the sand volume on the North Beach earlier on. Sage Modeler is also really helpful when it comes to data analysis because you can use it to create graphs. We're going to use it today to analyze our data related to sand deposition and other factors at Crystal Cove. We'll start by looking at seasonal trends in sand volume over time. On the left hand side of my screen over here, you'll see that there is an overall data set that includes the data that you've all helped us collect. This data goes all the way back to when we first started collecting data in 2018. In this table, you'll see other columns here aside from the date, like our sand volume for a beach profile conducted on that date, change in the sand volume since the last profile, and different wave characteristics that you can see on the table that you might be interested in graphing over time. So how do we know how the sand volume is changing over time? How can we graph that? Well, to find out, we can create a graph using Sage Modeler to help us look for patterns in our data. To create a graph on Sage Modeler, all you have to do is go to the top right corner and click on Graph. Then you can go ahead and choose what you want to graph. Because we want to graph something over time, we're going to want to have an x-axis that has some sort of time measurement, such as our date. So I can go ahead and go over to the date, click and drag it over to my x-axis and drop it down. And you'll see that it creates an x-axis with my dates. Then I'm going to want to choose a factor that I want to see the change over time. So for example, if I want to see how my sand volume has changed over time, I might want to grab the sand volume and drop it into the y-axis and create a graph like that. So you'll now see that there is a graph that is plotting my sand volume over time. Finally, if I want to see this a little bit better and more visually, I can go ahead and click on this ruler here and click on connecting lines so that you can see clearly how that sand has changed from month to month. So go ahead and move on to the next slide and try graphing your data on your own.